Our final storyteller. She says, my favorite candy is Smarties, and as a kid on Halloween, I would trade my sister Twix for Smarties, and all the adults would say I was getting scammed. I have to say, the most controversial thing I ever posted on social media was when I said Smarties isn't technically a candy. People tore me apart. Give it up for the queen of Smarties, Rachel Ann Dennis.
Hello. I recently had a really terrible stomach bug at the beginning of September. The kind where if I had been a kid, I would have stumbled to the foot of my parents' bed while they slept and vomited on their floor to announce what was happening within my body. But I'm a grown-up, so I called out sick to work, and I got into bed, and I started to scroll through every single type of short-form content that we have, all platforms. And I was hoping that it would be an escape from the war that was happening inside me. But we all know that on social media, there's also a war happening. The dystopian hellscape that is looming upon us, and then paired with, suggestions for really delicious waffle toppings. And then the debate if skinny jeans or wide leg jeans or middle parts, and sales for this and sales for that. And then all of a sudden you're seeing some really horrific news smattered in, oftentimes one video after another. And then someone has a reel where she says that it's the first day of the federal duck stamp competition and that it's live streaming. And I go, let's go. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna watch it. So I put it on the big TV and I start watching this live stream. And it's an incredible competition. There are over 200 entries, and the duck stamp competition is specifically created so that people will buy the duck stamp, and it acts as the hunting license for duck hunters. And duck hunters, wetland conservationists, and artists create these duck stamps, and they're really beautiful, and the money from the duck stamps goes towards wetland conservation, preserving species. I could go on. It's a special interest of mine now. I've learned a lot about ducks since September, and that's not really the whole story, so we've got to move on. But if you want to talk to me afterwards, I can tell you even more. So I'm watching the competition, and they're ruthless. They're yesing and knowing these ducks. I have such a good time that I call out sick a second day to watch the second half of this competition because I got to see who wins. Third place happens to be someone from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was thrilled. I also got a little emotional because I realized that these artists and the wetland conservationists and the hunters are all really different people. And they all were together for this shared goal where they're enjoying these duck paintings. And I'm gonna cry now. Like, it was really sweet. Like, that they all came together and they have really, all I can say is, Judy, the wetland conservationist judge, was really, really different than the duck hunter specialist on that panel. But they came together for the shared goal, and it was cool. And it got me thinking about how that doesn't always happen these days. The duck stamp competition is in the back of my mind, and I go on this vacation with my siblings, and on my flight home, I am sitting on the plane, and it's not a fully sold out plane, and there's no one sitting next to me. And I'm like really excited. And then at the last minute, this gentleman sits next to me and he's got a red hat on. The red hat, the Make America Great Again hat. And I'm stressed out because I haven't packed very well, so I'm stuck with this giant yellow water bottle that I have that didn't fit in my bag that I have to hold, and the bumper sticker on it says anti-fascist little freak in big green goopy letters. And it's just like, so I'm just sitting there with my yellow water bottle, he's got his red hat, and we know each other in that moment. If he didn't know that I was a queer, food allergy-laden librarian, the water bottle gave him a tip. So we're sitting next to each other, and I've got my headphones and my phone, and we're about to take off, and he's raw dogging this flight. He doesn't have a phone, he doesn't have headphones, nothing. It's just him and his thoughts just sitting next to me. And also, if you don't know what raw dogging means, do not use it until you look it up. It's not for work. Anyways, so he's sitting there next to me, and we're getting to take off, and then we finally reach altitude, and he lowers his tray table, and he takes out doll clothes and starts sewing the doll clothes. And he's got this little skirt and this little sweatshirt and this little thing. It looks like it's from a kit, but he's doing it. And I could have ignored him, which is good plain etiquette. We're really, you're making eye contact, but it's like side eye where you're like, that person's eating a whole lemon, unpeeled, weird. I'm not gonna say anything. But I thought about the duck stamp competition. And I work with kids, I'm a children's librarian, and I work with my hands, I'm an artist. And so, I put the AirPods in the case and I look at him and I'm like, what are you working on? And he starts talking about his granddaughter and how he's trying to make things. And we have this conversation that goes really nice. And all of a sudden I'm making something and we're making it together. And it feels really special. And there was another sticker on my bottle that says, "Another world is possible." And maybe that's the one that he saw. And maybe there is a world where we can figure this out. And the queer allergy food librarian can exist and keep her job, and we can have a good time. But that's my story. Thank you.